Hello, dear teacher and partners. In this PhotoStory, I will tell you about how was my visit to Studium. Last Thursday, I went to Studium in the afternoon in order to interview Jose Veranga, who, as you know, is one of the material designers of the center. It was an amazing experience since I could learn a lot about the Language Resource Center and his role. People in the center is very kind, and Jose showed me the facilities of the center, explained me the type of resources that they have, and the function of his role. I could notice that there are several benefits of a center like this one, but also there is a lot of work behind it. This visit was really useful for me. In the center there are 84 computers and several resources to study a second language, such as English, Mandarin, Portuguese, Italian, French, or Spanish as a foreign language. The most common used resources are those for standardized language proficiency tests, as TOEFL or IELTS. I decided to interview Jose because I am interested in the design of material, because I think besides the technological devices and the physical resources that we need to set a language resource center, the material design is one of the most important aspects of a center like this one. That's why the objective in this visit is to answer the question how the use of specific technological tools or software and the methodology selected influence the design of material for the English teaching and learning. My first question to Jose was about his methodology at the moment of creating the material. He told me that when the material designers, create any material, they have a team involved in the creation of this. First, the teacher, then the academic supervisor, and finally the material designers. So first the teacher creates the guide, which includes the objectives, the competence, the skills, and the academic part, and everything that the teacher wants to integrate, such as photos, videos, images, animations, sounds, etc. Sometimes they also want to do exercises such as matching, fill in the blanks. My second question was about the steps or the process that he follows to design material. He told me that the requirements or instructions have to be very specific and clear because the teacher leaves the guide with the designers, and when they finish their work, they send it to the reviewer or the supervisor, and he or she says if it is right, taking into account the academic part, the design, and the functionality. Then we talk about the most important aspects for designing material. He told me that for him and for all the material designers in the center, the most important aspect is to deliver the material with the highest quality possible, a material which is clean, clear, and functional. They test the materials twice, 3 times in order to avoid errors or omissions. This is important because if the student uses a material with some error or problem, he or she is going to be alone at home, and if there is a possibility that he or she feels frustrated. When a situation like this one happens, some of the students write to them and they fix the problem, but some students don't do it, so the problem remains for a while, which is something that shouldn't happen. Another aspect which is really important is testing. There is a reviewer or supervisor who checks the design, if the material is working, and the academic part, for example, if the designer skips a comma. Likewise, there are as many tests as possible. The teachers must be very clear and they have to add all the specifications that they want in the material. Sometimes they write instructions too general, and in this work it is necessary to write everything for dummies in order to accomplish or to deliver the material desired. Jose said that the most important aspect is quality. The second one is testing, and finally there must be permanent communication between the creator, the material designer, and the teachers and supervisors. Then I asked him about flipped learning and how the material designers help teachers with this new approach. As I explained me that some students don't have enough time, so in Studium there is a program which is called Umbrella, a blended program, in which students develop 70 or 75% of the program online, and the other part is developed in a couple of sessions. The learning objects that they create are made with a special tool called OVA, which is Objeto Virtual de Aprendizaje. It can be used in blended environments. This virtual learning object must be complete with the objective, the competence, exercises, assessment, grades, because it is a student's week of work. When they finish the object, they come to class and they ask questions, practice in class, etc. As I found more interesting this new term, I searched more information about OVA, and I recommend you two videos. In the first one, which is this one, you can find the main characteristics of an OVA. Then, in this second video, Silvia Aldana, a psychologist from Universidad Pedagógica Nacional, who is or was a student in the Master Proyectos Educativos Mediados por TIC from Universidad de La Sabana, explained how to do an OVA. It's very useful. Then I asked Jose what tools or software do they use to design material, and he explained me that the main task is to create the learning object, but they also create their own audios and videos, and sometimes they also create their own pictures and illustrations. To create the learning object, they use a program which is called Course Lab 2.4, which is free. In this software, the designers create the whole object, including the exercise, the grades, feedback, text, images, and the university bought the license because the free version has some omissions. But Jose advised me that the free version is really good for teachers like me. Then we talk about the constraints that they have at the moment of creating material. He told me that all the staff in Studium is very professional. However, in many occasions they have to work against time because the demand is really high. So they have to deliver 7 objects per week, and there are only 2 or 3 designers. However, the quality is really important, so they have to take time to do testing because they have to create a multi-platform material. So it is important to test the material in Microsoft, Android, iOS, in order to check that everything is working in any device. So that is the main constraint. So Jose helped me to answer my question. In order to design good materials, it is important to follow a strict process in which there must be quality, testing, and permanent communication. Moreover, the technological tools that the material designer used is imperative in order to provide a good material or a learning object, such as Umbrella or Course Lab. But although teachers are not professional designers, we can use several free programs who can help us in our daily performance, and in our specific case, to set a language resource center. I would like to conclude that this visit was really useful for me. I learned a lot from Jose and his work. And finally, I would like to share with you the tool that I use to do this storyboard, which is called Storyboard 3 for Windows. I downloaded it. It's so easy to use, and I would like to share it with you. Thank you. I hope you liked my presentation, and this was my day at the Studium.